New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring. And hello again, dear ones. Dr. Robert with you here on a Friday evening. It's 5 o'clock on the Mountain Time Zone, and that means it is time for the good news. The weekly look at the good news stories that I found that I believe will remind everybody that we're all in this together, and together we are creating a world that works for all. First up tonight, honey. Honey has all manner of often hidden medicinal qualities. However, a specific honey, Manuka honey, has recently shown to reduce the proliferation of breast cancer cells. Now, Manuka honey is made by bees that feed on the nectar of the Manuka tree from New Zealand and coastal Australia. This member of the myrtle family is a cousin to other plants that yield powerful medicinal products like clove, allspice, and eucalyptus. A recent study published in the journal Nutrients, investigators at the UC Los Angeles Health Johnson Comprehensive Cancer Center found that Manuka honey significantly reduced tumor growth in mice with ER-positive cancer cells by 84%, without affecting normal breast cells or causing major side effects. Now, the ER-positive breast cancer makes up about 60 to 70% of all breast cancer cases in a given year. It is thought that Manuka honey is unique compared to all other commercially produced honeys because of its unique chemical composition. Manuka honey has been found to be an antibacterial, and not just for the bacteria that parents worry about with their kids, but the kinds that cause things like cystic fibrosis. Dr. Diana Marquez Garban said the findings provide hope for the development of a natural, less toxic alternative to traditional chemotherapy. She's an associate professor of medicine at UCLA and the study's lead author. Although more research is necessary, according to the doctor, to fully understand the benefits of natural compounds in cancer therapy, this study establishes a strong foundation for further exploration in the area. Now, interesting, Manuka honey from New Zealand must undergo a 5-stage process called the Manuka Honey Science Definition Test, which was developed by the Ministry of Primary Industries to ensure all honey made for export is standardized to certain chemical and physical characteristics. These guilds have marks of authenticity that consumers can look for to know the medicinal honey they're buying is genuine. The amount of counterfeit Manuka honey on the market is estimated to be 6 times or more the amount of authentic Manuka honey. So don't just buy any Manuka honey out there. Go out there and buy the stuff that's certified. But good news here in the treatment of breast cancer and in the reduction of breast cancer cells. Our whole segment tonight, folks, is based around science and a number of health-related issues. We get most of our good news stories over at the goodnewsnetwork.org. Some of these came from there. We also like to hang out over at sunnyskies.com and catch some of their good news stories. Then be sure to visit both of these sources and share your likes your appreciation with them. All right, next up, we have a brand new cancer drug. Let me come back over. Where'd I go? I lost my. There we are. A new drug for a type of brain cancer called IDH mutant low grade glioma was approved this month by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, a promising treatment that stemmed from a genetic discovery made at the Johns Hopkins Cancer Center over 16 years ago. The drug is a targeted cancer therapy that works by inhibiting the activity of a mutated gene called IDH, slowing the growth of cancer. The gene was identified by Dr. Bert Vogelstein in 2008 when his team at Johns Hopkins became the first to map the genetic blueprint for brain cancer. The blueprint was considered the most comprehensive genetic analysis for any tumor type, evaluating all known protein encoding genes in brain cancer. The researchers found that the IDH gene, which had never been suspected to be involved in any tumor type, was frequently mutated in one subset of cancer cells, one subset of brain cancers. Normal treatments usually include surgery to remove as much of the tumor as possible, followed by radiation and chemotherapy to attack the remaining cancer cells. In some patients, the addition of the IDH inhibitor could delay the need for radiation or chemotherapy. According to the authors, the possibility of delaying radiation therapy and chemotherapy with this drug could be beneficial to select patients with slow-growing IDH mutant gliomas. Again, that's according to Matthias Holdoff, co-director of the Johns Hopkins Kimmel Cancer Center for Brain Tumor Program and a co-investigator in the 2023 clinical trials. He also said, I believe we're looking at a new standard of care option for those with these types of tumors. Good news! Good news happening all over the world of medicine. And our next story is different, but no different. We seem to be making great strides recently over the last few years in our ability to counteract and or prevent many of the major diseases in the world. This story adds to that as well. Researchers from Western University have discovered a protein that has the never before seen ability to stop DNA damage. The finding could provide the foundation for developing everything from vaccines against cancer to crops that can withstand increasing drought. The researchers in Ontario, Canada, found the protein called DDRC, which stands for DNA Damage Repair Protein C. So they found the protein DDRC in a fairly common bacterium called Deinococcus radiodurans. Not going to hear me say that very often. Now, overall, there is an ability to survive conditions that damage the DNA, and it can withstand 5,000 to 10,000 times the radiation that would kill a regular human cell. Lead researchers, Robert Salbla, said that the Deinococcus also excels in repairing DNA that has already damaged damaged. His analogy was to say you had an NFL football player who plays every week without a helmet or pads. He'd end up with a concussion and multiple broken bones every single day, but then miraculously make a full recovery overnight in time for practice the next day. He and his colleagues discovered that the DDRC protein is a key player in the repair process. Every cell has a DNA repair mechanism to fix damage. With a human cell, if there are any more than 2 breaks in the entire billion pair of genome, it can't fix itself and it dies. But in the case of DDRC, this unique protein helps the cell to repair hundreds of broken DNA fragments into an coherent genome. That is a much bigger source of success, able to repair hundreds rather than one. Love it. Typically, said Sobala, Proteins form complicated networks that enable them to carry out a function. DDRC appears to be something similar of an outlier in that it performs its function all on its own without the need of other proteins. Good news. Good news, good news. Here on New Thought Media Network. Hey, folks, we're going to take a quick break, let a couple of our sponsors and friends say hello, but we've got a lot more coming for you here tonight on the good news, including our heroes of the week. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages.
The New Thought Men's community proudly presents New Thought Men's Summit, Foundations, an online conference, September 22nd through 27th. Register today at www.newthoughtmens.community, featuring 22 New Thought speakers, ministers, and visionaries, sharing their wisdom of modern spiritual masculinity. New Thought Men's community, empowering wholeness, centered in spiritual living.
Yes, folks. I want you to take a look at this banner here. Look at all these amazing men that are presenting at the New Thought Men's Summit. And I am honored to be a part of the lineup and be a part of this amazing program. And this is not just for men, even though it is by men and presented from that male perspective. Ladies, you may learn something or like to hear something you hear, or you may have a man in your life that you'd like to see about this. Please head on over to the website newthoughtmens.community. That's newthoughtmens.community. Join us there as we share more about the New Thought Men's Summit. All right, back into the good news here on New Thought Media Network. Really grateful to be with you here this evening. And I've got this one. I like this one a lot, folks. A gentleman, an Indian entrepreneur, is using sugar, cellulose, and corn fibers to make plastic-like carrier bags for small Indian businesses. His company, BioReform, has already replaced 6 million plastic bags in the checkout counters of stores all over India. Mohammed Azhar Mohibru, I think that's close, first got the idea during the general mayhem that arose during the pandemic. Mohammed was looking at global environmental issues with the hope of finding one his entrepreneurial spirit had the capacity to tackle, and he would eventually settle on plastic use, the over-reliance of plastic in our society, and the dangers of plastic contamination in the form of microplastics. We talk about those a lot here on the Good News, especially how to clean them up. Now, specifically, Mohammed wanted to find an alternative to one of the most common plastic products used today, the plastic shopping bag. As many places in North America are outlawing the common plastic shopping bag, Mohammed saw the largest brands substituting plastic ones for those made of paper or even jute. But for medium and small businesses that power the majority of the Indian economy, the small increase in cost from using biodegradable bags was cost prohibitive. According to Better India, he stated, he started studying a biodegradable polymer that was first formed and researched in the 1980s called polybutane adaptate cotheraphthalate. I'm digging into the scientific terms today. At the time, PBAT, as it's known, was made with corn and potatoes. Now, eventually, Mohammed decided to change the formula a little bit. He said, I tried to balance both my studies and the operations of the company. from collecting raw materials, assisting workers to developing manufacturing bags, and delivering the products in the market. I used to sleep in the corner of my factory. Overcoming bankruptcy, university studies, and a long backlog of unfulfilled orders, BioReform finally started to turn a profit, and today manufactures almost 500,000 bags per year at a gross revenue of roughly $180,000 US. Issues related to plastic pollution are not limited to affecting aquatic life and animals anymore. Today, microplastics has reached our bloodstream. Bottled water contains microplastics, and addressing this is an important and urgent problem, he told local news outlets. I'm glad I'm able to contribute my part. It's sometimes taxing to not lead a regular college life, but in the end, it is all worth it. I feel content when I go back to sleep, but much more needs to be done to make India plastic free, and I will continue to strive for it. All that according to Muhammad. Thank you, sir. You're doing the good work, and we're sharing the good news of the good work that you're doing. Hey, here's one that I found really, really interesting and incredibly important. Now, this past summer in Germany, the Euro Championships, which is a soccer tournament, held their annual summer tournament, and alongside all of the cheering and all of the games, 38,000 soccer fans are now certified in CPR. The Get Trained Save Lives campaign was a partnership between the Euro Championship and the European Resuscitation Council to raise awareness of sudden cardiac arrest and the importance of bystander CPR. At official CPR booths, fans from all of the 24 participating countries practiced on mannequins with sensors that measured the depth and rhythm of their compressions. Their results were compared with other participants in the form of a computer game. Many of the soccer greats like Clarence Seedorf, Javi Martinez, Ruud Gullit, and Mikel John Obi visited the booths to interact and participate in the games as well. In addition to the fans, the participating Euro 2024 teams have also received life-saving training at their base camps. Now, the initiative has been extended to match officials, staff, and volunteers working at the tournament. The idea is to ensure that no matter where an event might happen, somebody will be around who knows what to do. Much of this is in response to a well-publicized event in 2020 as Denmark's attacking midfielder was laying to the side on the ground and suffered a heart failure. CPR was performed. Unfortunately, many had to watch that on video. The athlete was fine and made a full recovery after transport to the hospital. Good work. Good work in the soccer world. Hey, here's another one that it warms my heart, and it's not, you can do this, anybody can do this. And I know this is happening in Colorado, my adopted home state. I've seen it. This story comes to us, however, from Brevard County, Florida. Movement is taking place, bringing joy and connection to thousands of people through the simple act of painting rocks. Now, what started as a small gesture of kindness between two women has blossomed into a thriving online community with over 40,000 members. I didn't check on the Colorado group, but I know they're there. A woman named Jen began painting rocks as her way to cope with anxiety following a hurricane and posted photos of her creation on Facebook. At the same time, her friend Carrie was sharing positive messages on the platform and encouraging others to spread kindness. When the two came together, there was inspiration. I just felt like today was the day to throw out some kindness, throw out some reminders that you, as one person, can make a difference. That spark led the two women to create a private Facebook group called Brevard Rocks, Florida. What they thought would be a small circle of friends quickly turned into a sensation. Within weeks, the group grew to 1,000 members, and today it boasts an incredible 41,500 members and more joining every day. The concept is simple and very powerful. Members paint rocks with uplifting messages like be kind, be kindness, and love, then hide them around the community. Those who find the rocks often feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude, leading them to join the group and share pictures of the rocks and their stories. The growing community is a testament to the power of small acts of kindness and the ripple effects they can create. What started with a few painted rocks has turned into a movement that's lifting spirits and spreading love across Brevard County and beyond. And as I say, I know there is a group here in Colorado, in the Denver area. I'm sure you can start a quick group yourself and spread this kind of love and kindness to your area of the nation as well. All right, folks, we got to take one more quick break and say hello to a couple more people, but we're not done. We've got some more good news coming your way, including our hero of the week. Please stay with us. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages. Please help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors, including the Hefferland Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center Ottawa, Om Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. Thank you for being part of the New Thought Media Network. Please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring. Yes. Thank you to all of our organizational sponsors and individual donors. It is thanks to folks like you that we can continue to share the good news out into the world. And that's what we're here to do, to get back into the good news, our final segment of the evening. And what better way to start that than with a story about puppy dogs? This all began in Franklin County, North Carolina. The story begins when a driver of a pup bus was doing his rounds to bring clients' dogs to a doggy daycare. He came to a house that he knows well, and a Labrador retriever who had been attending the kennel was waiting. However, there was an extra dog waiting with them. Now, Tyson Cash, who's the owner of Keller Creek Boarding and Grooming School, contacted the dog's owner to ask who the new arrival was, but to his owner's surprise, they hadn't adopted any new dogs. Now, they added, however, that a stray lab had been in the area for a few days, and others had seen them. Tyson was not able to take the dog on the bus due to a health risk for the other dogs, without any idea if he had vaccinations, flea or tick prevention. It would be a risk to his business to let the dog on the bus. So with tears in his eyes, he said he closed the door and began to drive away. However, the other dog began to chase after the bus and wouldn't let go, wouldn't stop. Eventually, Tyson called his wife to take a video and a photo of the dog alongside the bus, posted on social media. Along the way, other clients of Tyson's decided they wanted to adopt the puppy dog. However, that was short-lived as due to circumstances, that couple was not able to keep the new dog. And wouldn't you know it, the original dog's owner decided they would adopt the new dog as well. And that's the picture of the two of them there on the puppy bus on the way to puppy dog care daycare down there in Franklin, North Carolina. What an amazing story, folks. You know, it's things like this. I have this argument all the time where people say that animals just don't have a brain cell, that dogs only have one or two brain cells, that they don't have the type of consciousness as us humans. And maybe they don't have as advanced consciousness, but they have as consciousness. No question about it. They know what they're doing and they know what they want. I'm glad these two puppy dogs found themselves to each other. Hey, before we get to our hero of the week, I want to introduce you to an amazing young woman, Yasmin Sharman. Yasmin is currently 26 years old, and since the age of 18, she has been donating her eggs, 41 in total. She has said she doesn't want kids, but wants to be able to help parents that would like kids. And she has found that one of those donations did turn into a little boy. She said that when I found out one of my donations had resulted in the birth of a baby boy, I was ecstatic. I celebrate the baby's birthday every year with my friends. It makes me so happy and grateful to be part of somebody's life, being able to contribute to a family that may have been going through so much emotional turmoil. Knowing they have a family now makes me happy. When the teen decided she didn't want children of her own, she wondered about helping other couples who were struggling with the remaining choices. Yasmin searched the web for egg donation in London and came across TPF, Boston Place Fertility, and booked an appointment. When I walked through the door, I was nervous, but then it hit me. I was excited to realize that what I was about to do would impact people. She described the staff as extremely helpful and lovely. I felt so supported of them. Now, I did not know this. Egg donors need to inject themselves for 14 days to suppress their natural hormone production before a second set of injections to stimulate production is administered. A day or two before the eggs are collected, donors receive a hormone injection to help the eggs mature, and then the eggs are collected during a procedure. She said, I find the process quite easy. I self-inject 2 or 3 times a day for 11 or 12 days with medicines which stimulate my hormones and encourage my eggs to grow. That sounds like absolute to me. And I'm glad there are people like Yasmin that could do that. I could never do that many shots. I don't think I'm producing eggs either. I was asked about my reasons for donating, and they checked if I would potentially be happy to contact it in 18 years. She said, I'm already happy for that to happen at any time. Even though she describes 18 years as a long way away, she's hopeful that children born with the help of her eggs will reach out to her when they get to that age. I've contributed to something good. So my people want children but don't have a choice. I'm young and I have so many eggs. Thank you, Yasmin. Good news, good news. All right, folks. It's that time, and we've got another doubleheader tonight. Can't decide between one or two, so I guess we've got 2 heroes of the week. The heart-stopping incident occurred when Felipe David Souza, who was working in an adjacent apartment, heard desperate screams coming from outside the apartment window. Souza recalled, I saw a little boy with half his body out. The 6-year-old child appeared paralyzed with fear, one leg precariously dangling over the railing. Below, a frantic crowd shouted desperately, urging the young boy to pull himself back up to safety. In a video captured by a bystander, Souza is seen tightly gripping the rail as he cautiously makes his way along the narrow ledge towards the child. Upon reaching him, Upon reaching him, Souza greatly but firmly guides the boy back over the railing to safety. The boy's parents, who had inadvertently dozed off, were in shock when they realized what had happened. They expressed their profound gratitude for Souza. According to Spanish police, the boy and his family were tourists. I did it without thinking, Souza humbly stated. As a parent himself, Sousa said his only thought was ensuring the child's safety. Thank you, sir. You are definitely one of our heroes of the week. And our second hero of the week, on Monday, August 12th, Raheem Cooper was making his usual deliveries when he noticed something alarming: a woman lying motionless in her driveway. Groceries were scattered around her, and she was in a blistering 102-degree sunshine. He quickly jumped off his truck and after checking to see if anyone else was home, called 911. While waiting for the ambulance to arrive, Cooper began rendering aid to the woman who had taken a severe fall and was in critical condition. Within 5 to 6 minutes, paramedics arrived and took over, rushing her to the hospital. The heat and the unknown duration she had been lying there made the situation more concerning. However, Cooper's swift response undoubtedly saved her life, according to medical officials. Cooper said, "It feels so great. It's amazing. I wasn't even expecting to tell the story. The only person I told was my mom, so I'm really surprised by all the attention that it's getting. I'm satisfied with what I do, but I have to give all glory to God, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been there, so I just thank God." Cooper has been in touch with the woman's family, who are relieved to share that she is now on the road to recovery. Thank you, Raheem Cooper. You are our hero of the week. And thank you, folks, for joining us here on the Good News for this Friday evening. We ran a little long tonight, so I want to thank you for sticking with us. I'm Reverend Robert. I'm out of here for now. However, stay tuned. In just about 28 minutes, Pastor Michael, Reverend Michael Mangus, is here with our fireside chat. Later tonight, our closing prayers at 8:15, and be with us tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for our Science of Mind and Spirit Saturday morning conversation series. Until next time, I want to thank you for being with us and wish you peace and richest blessings. Bye now.